Happy Tuesday, June 8th, 7:56 in the morning. Feeling good, baby girl. Woke up at 5 o'clock, did 10 push-ups, went back to bed. Because somebody stayed up until midnight, uploading and editing a damn video for the new Instagram dedicated to this podcast. Day on the job. Go check it out. There, I'll be posting a video. There will just kind of be the visual side of this podcast. Like, I'll be posting a video of the updates throughout the day of how, like, if I had cravings for something, how I went about getting over the shits. And I'll put up like a before and after the 30 days. I didn't take a picture of the first day I started the carnivore diet, but I took one this morning, and it's only 3 days, going on 3 days in. So not much is different. Yeah, I'll be doing a before and after for that in like 27 days. I got 27 days or more of sobriety to do. Oh my goodness. And then we'll see where that goes. If I'm feeling great, if I'm just feeling fantastic and floating on cloud 9 and shit, I might stick to it. I don't know. I'm not a perfect human. I can't say what's about to happen in 30 days or 27 days. All I can say for sure is the next 27 days I will be having no cigarettes, no cigars, no alcohol, and I'm gonna do my damnedest to only ingest meat, preferably bison meat, and eggs. The eggs are just added a little extra oomph to my meal last night. It's not too much better than just the meat, but it don't make it worse. And I feel like it might add just like an extra layer of like break down this more. There's a little more food in here to break down, so maybe it'll last longer for the intermittent fasting aspect of this program. I'm only eating dinners. I'm not eating till I get off work. I'm not drinking nothing but water. Excuse me for burping. 2 days ago I had liquid IV in my water. That should be cheating. Because I don't think, because it's sweet, I think I know for a fact actually, it stops the keto burning. The ketosis stops. So you stop burning fat as an energy source. Your body stops eating the fat as an energy. Because of the sweetness. So yesterday I for sure entered ketosis. When did I eat? Just about 24 hours, I think. I forgot when I got off 2 days ago. But then I came home and made my meat. So, and it must have been around 5, 6. No. It was later than that. It was like 8 or some shit. Because I went and hung out with my son for a little bit. My clothes were washing. What the hell? I don't have any. No, so I probably did. I did like 26 hours. Because I didn't eat last night until 6. So I did a 26 hour with no food. Or maybe it's 22 hours. It's 2 hours in some direction. Anyway, this is so boring. I'm sorry. I was gonna try to do that skipping, jumping to shit I had to say, but then the homie talked me out of it. I agreed with him. I was fishing for shit rather than it just being in the moment and like going with the flow. But I will be pausing this one as soon as I get out of shit to say, because I have to go to work. I have to look at the news. I'll load my van. As of right now, I have 53 stops, but I'm running extra late this morning too. Extra late, like 8 it is 8 o'clock. I'm supposed to be at work at 7:30. But shout out to boss here. Oh, my squad, they're real lenient people, so I just gotta let them know, like, hey, I'm on my way, just so they're not like, was you coming? Yeah, I love my job, man. It's the shit. Yeah, feel good. Haven't had any cravings since yesterday's cigar craving. No craving for alcohol, no craving for cigarettes, no craving for coffee. Actually, that's a lie as fuck. I wish I had I wish I had fat burners or something I could take to like wake up a little bit. I just gotta get I'm just in that groggy state. Once I get my van loaded, I get the blood flowing. I will be fine. I will be fine. I will make it work. Now I go home. I'm gonna get my son tonight. Again. 2 days in a row. I like that shit. But yesterday my damn cartoons didn't work, so we had a little fussy. We got a little fussy there toward the end. So I threw him on the bed. We were folding laundry, leftover shit, towels and sheets and shit. And he liked being thrown on the bed, so I just kept throwing him on the bed from the sitting position instead of sitting on the couch and throwing him on the bed. He went to the door and ran at me and threw him on I could throw him on the bed from there. We did that for like a half hour. And then Mama came up to pick him up, and we did it some more. The kid likes to be in the air. He just throws himself on shit, throws his head on shit. I gave him a bite of my damn bison and eggs, and he liked it. Proud of that. I know I'm not the only one. And I know. Shout out Sam Smith. Uh-oh. I got the grumbles. I got the rumbles in my tumbles. Oh, man. I hope this shit subsides. Yeah, it's gone, just like that. I don't have it anymore. And I have a whole jug of water in here that I haven't opened yet, because I got 2 yesterday. I feel like maybe if I drink some, maybe I'll feel satiated. But that's like a lie, dude, because every time I drink water, if I'm hungry, if I chug a bunch of water, I just feel hungry still. So maybe that's just years of stuffing shit in my stomach when I wasn't hungry. So I was just expanding my stomach, so if there's anything in there, my body don't even notice it. I don't know. Be nice to find out some studies on that shit. I gotta watch my mouth. We're all adults here, but I slip up around my kid way too often. And I don't care that if he cusses, he cusses, but I don't want him to just be walking around going fuck, 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 fuck. Like he almost did last night, because Daddy said fuck. And I was like, what? Like I meant it, like I was saying what, and he just heard me wrong? He wasn't fucking, he heard me say fuck. Jesus Christ, I'm grabbing this jug, just sitting this the light forever. This lady's gonna hit me behind me. Oh, just kidding. Here we go. Yeah, life's good as of now. As of now. Life is great. Yeah, the video last night, I actually enjoyed doing it. I was like, should I cut my hair? Should I wear a hat? And it just turned out to be neither one of them, and we made it work. Me, myself, and I, the three of us. Just sat there bullshit, and it just turned out. Something about it. It just happened to turn out to be 10 minutes, or right around there. And I got it. I got to edit it all on my phone. That was dope. And the quality's not terrible. I wish I gotta figure out something to do with my light. It's a dope ass light bulb, but it's like in my mirror. And it has this beam over my head. It don't bother me. It's just distracting to me. And I guess it would be unprofessional to have the lighting be behind you as well as in front of you. To have the same lighting that's lighting your face be behind your head because of a mirror. Now, I didn't take film school, but I know these things kind of. You're not supposed to be backlit. Especially where you can see the light. If you're going to be backlit, you're not supposed to be able to see the light. I think that's how it works. And you can totally see the light above my head. It's unintentional. I'm thinking maybe I gotta put the camera. I'm so sorry. I was thinking maybe I gotta put the camera on something real tall or something. With that light, or just back it up a little bit. I don't know. I'll figure something out though, because that shit's not working. Yeah, I will talk to y'all in a little bit. Alright, back at it. 68 stops today. Got that breathe right on these strills. Got the birds on the strills. It's 9:51. Full tank of gas. I was looking at the news. There was some kind of... I gotta find it. It's right here. I just had it. Actually, okay, let me start the podcast like this. That other shit was just the intro. Okay? Here's the cast. Let me clear up my damn... Alright. This is my reading ritual. The internet is robust. It's not dependent upon a single machine or cable. It's a... Cut! Hold, please. This is on how stuff works. And the article is called "What Would Happen If the Internet Collapsed?" by Jonathan Strickland, updated April 1st, 2021. The internet is the internet is robust. It's not dependent upon a single machine or cable. It's a network made up of other computer networks. It spans the globe. Connections cross over continents, under the oceans, and through space via satellites. Shout out my brother Guta. And as the internet has grown, so has our dependence upon it. Connections across the internet are flexible. When you use your computer to contact another machine on the internet, the data could cross one of millions of pathways. Whether you download a file, the file comes to your machine in electronic data packets that travel across the internet. The packets don't all take the same path. The traffic routes are dynamic. If a particular connection is damaged or unresponsive, the data can follow a different path to reach your machine. This makes the internet a reliable communications resource. Even if an entire section of the internet were to go offline in a week of natural disaster or a nuclear attack, other sections could remain functional. While any data stored on machines that were hit by the disaster might be lost, the internet itself would remain. It's almost impossible to imagine a set of circumstances that could cause the internet to collapse. It would require destruction on such a widespread scale that the loss of the internet would probably be the least of our worries. But what if the internet did collapse? How would that affect us? Would life change drastically, or would we quickly adjust, relying on older means of communication? Well, that was the intro to this, I guess. This is a long freaking article. I'm going to read it because it's very important. Something happened today. And I'll get into that when this is over. And I haven't read this article yet. That was the first section I've read. I looked up what happens if the internet goes out. I saw a lot of stuff, and I looked at how things work, or how stuff works, and I like a lot of their shit. So that's what I'm reading. A world without the internet would probably seem very strange to us now, depending on the nature of the disaster and how you define the internet. Even basic services like text messaging or cell phone service could become unavailable. That's because the infrastructure for these services is also part of the internet infrastructure. If you take this thought experiment to an extreme case, even the phone lines might not work, since they too form part of the internet's infrastructure. Some cable and satellite services would be unavailable. You could still access television programming sent via broadcast towers if you had an antenna. But if the cable and antenna systems were part of the general collapse, you'd lose access to most channels. You wouldn't be able to log onto social networking sites and services like Facebook or Twitter. You wouldn't be able to fire up an instant messaging service to check up on friends. Many of the tools we rely on to keep up with what our friends or family are doing would cease to exist. If the cell phone towers and telephone lines were also affected, we'd be reduced to writing letters and sending them through the post office. Fuck yes, FedEx! Keep me hired. This is my dream, is to be working during the freaking apocalypse as a delivery driver. Shout out The Postman, the movie with my guy Michael Keaton. I think that's his name. No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Thinking of a different. Forgive me. It'll come into my head. It'll come in my head. Oh, because we'll be able to smoke. I'll be able to smoke, drink, whatever. As long as people get their stuff, they don't care what I'm doing in my horse. On my horse? Not in my horse. Take that back. That sounds like bestiality. I meant to say doing on my horse. Or bicycle. Or motorcycle. People give me gas for free so they can keep getting their mail. That sounds so fun. Just stoned in the desert. Hunter S. Thompson style. Got the right music playing. Somehow that gets me to go farther even when my tank's on empty. That's so beautiful. And I said that's so wrong. That's not quoted at all from what he said, but I dig it. I said I dig, like digging graves. I said I dig it. Just to clarify, I said dig, D-I-G, D-I-G, as in Dakota, Igloo, Guitar. Dig it. Interstellar Travel. I said dig it in a song before I started rapping. And it's very similar the way I said it, because I was kind of buzzed as I was recording. And it's the first thing I say too. It's right before the beat drops and I start rapping, I say dig it. But because I was buzzed and the way it just flew out of my mouth, it flowed, it sounded very similar to a word without the hard R. And I didn't catch it because I wasn't the engineer. I was focused on not forgetting my bars. So there's that. Of course, that song's not out there. It never will be. Anyway, back to the article. Transferring files between computers would be difficult too. You'd either need to store the files in some form of physical media, like a compact disc, or you'd need to connect to the two computers with a physical cable. Projects that depend on grid computing to make complex calculations wouldn't work either. Cloud computing services would also fail, and the information you store on those services could become inaccessible. I didn't know that's how inaccessible was spelled. I didn't know there's two C's in there. So maybe they misspelled that shit. No way. If the internet did collapse somehow, the economic impact would be disastrous. While the loss of services like electronic banking or PayPal would be annoying, the effects would extend much further. Think of the businesses that depend upon the internet. Every website would be offline. Huge companies like Google or Amazon would become obsolete instantly. Other companies like Microsoft would see enormous sections of their operations disappear. Even companies that only use the web as a means of advertisement would be adversely affected. I don't know how true that is because I don't remember the last time. First of all, I've never purchased something on the internet when I've gotten an ad for it, ever, in my life. Also, I have never... The only way an ad works for me is fast food. Other than that, I don't go buy something I see on the TV. Ever. It's never happened. I might pick it up out of nowhere, but I don't go, oh, that looks cool, I'm gonna go get that. Unless it's the Rodeo King burger at Burger King, or 2 for $5 at Burger King. Shout out the original chicken sandwich and a Whopper with no onion and tomato. Just throw a piece of cheese on there. Also, Burger King, do better melting your cheese. It's shit cheese. Melt the shit. I don't want to taste it. I don't want it sticking out of the bun and over the meat, and it's just on there. Melt your freaking cheese better. I apologize. Assuming the collapse was either of a permanent or extended nature, many companies would go out of business. Hundreds of thousands of people would be out of a job. Google employs nearly 20,000 people alone, with hundreds of companies folding or cutting back on staff. The market would be flooded with people in need of a job. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, e-commerce accounted for 35% of all shipments from the manufacturing industry in 2007. That amounts to more than $1.8 trillion for that industry alone. When you extrapolate those numbers to all industries across the entire world, you'll see that commerce on the internet is big business. If the internet collapsed, multiple industries would experience an instant recession. There's no easy way to bounce back from the loss of trillions of dollars. We'll see how that plays out. Some countries would feel the sting more than others. Developed countries would face severe economic crisis as entire industry sectors either disappeared or struggled to survive in the wake of devastating losses. Other countries would suffer as many direct effects from the collapse because they... What? Other countries wouldn't suffer. I read that wrong. Other countries wouldn't suffer as many direct effects from the collapse because they don't have much of a presence on the internet. But these countries would also suffer as the trade and aid they depend upon from other connected countries decreases. Very few types of businesses would remain unaffected by the collapse of the internet. The internet has become pervasive in business. The economic fallout would probably be the primary crisis governments would face around the world if the internet were to collapse. But that would just be one problem world leaders would face. In the United States, there's a push to develop the power grids around the nation into a smart grid. Smart grids could theoretically respond to customer needs more efficiently, conserve power, and communicate with one another over internet connections. In theory, this system could reduce power outages and other problems, but if the internet were to collapse, a smart grid would be crippled. Massive power outages could become a problem across any country using such a system. As the internet has become more pervasive, countries have used it to gather intelligence and to spy on one another. The loss of the internet would be an enormous blow to the intelligence agencies. Sharing information would become slow and difficult. Some governments might react to such a situation rashly. Sorry, I gotta go around this semi real quick. I'm about to pass my exit or something because I can't see it. I wish the thing I was reading was just holographic on the windshield. I could just look out where I'm driving and it's reading. I could just subconsciously pick up what the sentence is saying, like when you watch Star Wars and the words go up and you're just... I used to struggle when I was younger, to keep up with that, and now it's like tying my shoe. I forgot whether sharing information will become. It's impossible to predict how each government would react. However, it's not hard to imagine a series of events that could escalate into a conflict. Assuming world leaders could maintain order and resist the urge to blow each other up, other problems would surface. The internet has become an important part of the many educational programs. The loss of the internet would leave a void that other resources would need to fill. Resources cost money, something that would be in short supply as markets around the world try to recover from the staggering losses. In the United States, military organizations and some research institutions are part of the networks that are similar to the internet but are technically not part of the internet itself. If these networks remained unaffected, at least some electronic communication and data transmission would be possible. But if our imaginary crisis extended all the way to these computers and computer networks, the country would become vulnerable to all sorts of attacks. Hold please, I gotta plug my phone in. It's about this eye. This eye made me crizz eye. Looking at the skizz eye. Oh man, I turned my phone sideways on accident and it went all the way to the top of the article. Oh, please hold. Shout out my Aunt Brandy. She did that shit. I thought it was funny. Hold please. Like when I was little, me and my sister would like interrupt something she was saying to like an adult. She'd be like, hold please. Just put her hand out or some shit in front of us, like, hold please. I thought that shit cracked me up. I mean, it did crack me up. I thought it was funny, is what I'm saying. Forgive me. I'll grab a jug of this. Jug life, dog. Always jugging. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, brother. Jug life, brother. Always jugging, brother. Damn, this is a... Okay, here we go. I think I'm close to where... Yep, here we go. I'm right back to where it was. Data transmission would be possible, but if our imaginary crisis extended all the way to these computer networks, the country would become more vulnerable to all sorts of attacks. Just read that? Just caption up. Okay. Could the internet collapse? Here's the good news. A total collapse of the internet would be almost impossible. The internet isn't a magic box with an on-off switch. It's not even a physical thing. So we're talking about artificial intelligence is what this is, okay? The internet, it's a collection of physical things and it's constantly changing. The internet isn't the same entity from one moment to the next. Machines are always joining or leaving the internet. It's possible for parts of the internet to go offline. In fact, this happens all the time. Whether it's a particular server that crashes and needs to be rebooted or replaced, or a cable under the ocean gets snagged by an anchor, there are events that can disrupt internet service, but the effects tend to be isolated and temporary. It sounds expensive for an anchor to snag an internet cable in the ocean. Sounds like a job I don't want to be doing, repairing an internet cable under the ocean. How deep is that shit? Fuck that job. Forget that noise. While there is such a thing as the internet backbone, a collection of cables and servers that carry the bulk of the data across various networks. It's not centralized. There's no plug you could pull out from a socket or a cable you could cut that would cripple the internet. For the internet to experience a global collapse, either the protocols that allow machines to communicate would have to stop working, or for some reason, or the internet or the infrastructure itself would have to suffer massive damage. Since the protocols aren't likely to stop working spontaneously, we can rule out that eventually, as for the massive damage scenario, that could happen. An asteroid or comet could collide with the Earth with enough force to destroy a significant portion of the internet's infrastructure. Overwhelming gamma radiation or electromagnetic fluctuations coming from the sun might also do the trick. But in those scenarios, the Earth itself would become a lifeless hulk. At that stage, it hardly matters whether or not you can log into MySpace. I swore this guy said they wrote this in 2020 or 2021. I know it was April 1st. The positive way to look at this is to realize that the men and women who helped design the internet created an amazing tool that's remarkably stable. Even when sections of the internet have a technical hiccup, the rest carries on with business as usual. While the collapse of the internet would be a catastrophic event, it's not one you need to worry about. Originally published February 10th, 2010. Can the government shut down the internet? Whoa. Can the government shut down your internet? Not in the United States. Laws protect citizens from unlawful shutdown. Okay, well, we know that's false now. Of course they can shut down our internet. They can keep us in our houses. So, excuse me. Is it possible to live without the internet? Alright, these are just stupid questions. So that's what's happening. In the news today, I feel like they're missing a lot of shit, but the internet was down today. Widespread internet outage. I've been saying outage for the last 15 minutes, and I said outage. Major internet outage impacts websites and apps around the world. What we're covering. Countless websites and apps around the world went down Tuesday after Fastly, a major content delivery network, reported a widespread failure. The issue has been resolved, according to Fastly. The outage affected dozens of countries across the Americas, Europe, Asia, and South Africa. Sites including Amazon, Target, and gov.uk were down during the outage. What the hell? Some website sites still face issues despite Fastly's fix. What is Fastly and what is its role in the outage? Fastly says issue is fixed. The UK government website. The reason I bring this up and read that whole thing is because I think I was yesterday's episode or the day before's episode. I talked about how I'm worried about China, Russia, and Iran coming together, teaming up, hacking our shit. And this just seems like they took it another step farther. If what I'm thinking is happening, they're just seeing what they're capable of doing. They shut down the fucking internet. Maybe it's just one thing. I bet you Fastly got hacked by, air quotes, Russia. It's the first time I ever said air quotes in my life and ever used them. Also, when I walked into the gas station, I saw a guy talking to himself, and I said, "Is he talking to himself?" out loud to myself. But I was like, I was in the distance. I was distant from this gentleman. I said out loud to myself, "Is he talking to himself?" But kind of like a whisper, trying to make myself laugh type of deal. Like, is he talking to himself? But imagine like somebody seeing me asking nobody, is he talking to himself? And they're just that's one of those you go, the fuck? And you walk out of there like, this has got to be a Matrix. That guy just, imagine that conversation. The wife went in to get some, I don't know, toilet paper or milk or some shit. She comes out, the husband's sitting in the car with the kids, and she goes, the darndest thing just happened. I was in the gas station. And the husband's like, yeah, no. We've been waiting for you. She goes, anyway, I saw this gentleman, he was standing in the aisle, and he said out loud, not talking to anybody, he said out loud, is he talking to himself? That just, it made me laugh thinking about that. So that's where we are. Internet went down for a little bit. The thing says they fixed it. I guarantee you they got hacked by something. We're going to find out within the next couple hours. They got hacked by freaking Russia or China. And they're checking to see what's happening. They're seeing what they're capable of doing. And we are sitting ducks because there's nothing we can do about it. We owe everybody money. Nobody actually likes us. I came up with a great freaking, what the hell is that word? The thing where it's like a simile or whatever to America, that like to other countries, America to other countries. I came up with it and I forgot it, but it was real good. I'm pretty sure it was real good because I still remember the fact that I came up with the shit, just don't remember what it was. For example, shout out Mrs. Ruger, whatever the hell her name was, with the tramp stamp in high school. Took my freaking poem, put it in the damn museum somewhere. I went back to get it, the poem, and she didn't have it. Like, it wasn't in the school didn't have it. She didn't have it. I didn't have it. I didn't fucking have it. Why would I be there to pick it up if I had it? That's how good this poem was, okay? Museum worthy, or whatever. She put it somewhere where it was like, she took my physical copy, put it somewhere, and doesn't have. Miss Ruggles, shout out Miss Ruggles, find my shits. That's how good this poem was. Took my physical copy, put it on display somewhere, and now I don't have it, and I don't remember how it went. That's my shit. That's what all I'm saying is, I'm not all the way crazy. I come up with cool shit sometimes, and I forget it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, that was a huge hardcore brag. And all the facts are in freaking order. Get at me. Sorry about that. I apologize. I'm feeling good right now. I'm in the zone. I got almost all the boogers out of my nose, and I have the Breathe Right strip on. Hung out with my son last night. Had a good freaking time. Ate my bites and eggs. It's not terrible. What else? I just had a good day. All in general. All in all. Really use that phrase also. All in all, it was a good day. I prefer to go with this one. Today was a good day. Shout out Ice Cube. Oh, man. But yeah, things are looking up right now. Sorry about my smacking. I'm just thirsty. I've had one sip of water all morning. And that was while I was reading this. Like, I woke up, didn't drink anything. I didn't drink anything while I was loading my packages. Excuse me. Anyway, there was one more thing I was thinking about. I gotta look this shit up. Sinkholes and earthquakes. There was an article about a sinkhole today, and I think it was Indiana or some shit. Well, no, it didn't even say. I didn't look at the article. I just saw the title, and it was a sinkhole in a hospital parking lot. And this is like the second sinkhole I've seen this month, and it's only the 7th or the 8th. So I'm like, well, this has definitely happened much more often than normal. And earthquakes. That thing I just said about the earthquakes, I think it was yesterday. There was like 150 small earthquakes, or 2 days ago. I gotta stop doing that. I've read a thing about a whole shit ton of tiny earthquakes in California. Excuse me. Back's website's one. I'm not finding it. Point is, I'm not making this shit up either. It was there. I barely barely put any effort into finding it again because I'm almost to my first stop. Oh, let's talk about that. Yesterday I brought up there was a 6-year-old boy that was killed on his way to his mom was taking him to daycare, and he was killed in a road rage shooting. 2 guys arrested. I don't know if it was women's. 2 people were arrested. Just assuming women aren't shooting children that aren't their own. Shout out, what's her name? Anyway. Yeah, there was a couple months ago, there was a guy, this is during the snow season. This is the shit I'm talking about. This is why I try to do my best to be kind to people and not... You never know when people are on their edge. You don't know if you're the straw that breaks the psycho's back. And there's a couple, they were out there shoveling. It is a famous story. It's like a viral story. This couple gets murdered over a shoveling dispute. And you think that, you're like, oh, maybe, you know, what happens? But then you watch the video and you see these fucking psychos, all 3 of them are psychos, right? But the 2 that got murdered, the murderer killed himself, but the 2 that got murdered were calling this guy the F word that rhymes with maggot and pussy, like regularly. And then he goes inside. He comes out with a pistol, some kind of handheld, no need for 2 hands, and he starts shooting at the people because they're calling him pussy and maggot and all this shit. He's like, oh yeah, and he's like, I don't remember if he shoots in the air first or shoots toward them, but they're not panicking. And then the guy gets shot, and he's like, oh, what the fuck? He runs away, and his wife is standing there, and she's going, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you acting like all of a sudden you're all like, oh shit. The guy was crazy enough to go in his house and grab a gun because you called him a maggot and a pussy. And you're still gonna keep up the attitude. You're still gonna keep saying this shit to this person. I'm not defending this guy, I'm just saying, don't do this to people. Don't flip people off. Just fucking don't do it. Don't matter how. Fight the urge to be an asshole. You can be an asshole subconsciously, subliminally. This is my favorite type of revenge, when they don't know you did it. You know what I'm saying? It's the best revenge is when they don't know who did it. It could be just as simple as anything. I'm not saying any specifics, but they could think, who's out to get me? Because they're such an asshole that they have no idea. It could be anybody. That's the best revenge. Not knowing who the hell's after you or who did this to you this day. That's my favorite shit. You don't need to be up in their face about shit, especially when they come out with a fucking gun. When they come out with a gun, you shut your fucking mouth. You go inside, you call the cops. Hey, this guy threatened me with a gun. You don't keep it up. Unless you have a death wish. People are on edge. We don't know what people are going through. And you just insulted this guy. Probably an incel. It didn't say he was married. That's why I brought this up. Because yesterday I was saying these fucking assholes with the road rage that killed the child, the 6-year-old, probably incels. Just throwing out a guess. Like I shouldn't be, but it's my opinion. Who else is out there shooting at kids or shooting at vehicles if they're getting laid in the morning? You know? I'm not. I sure as fuck ain't. I'm sorry for cussing. I take that back. FedEx, shout out FedEx. Keep me. I love my job. Sorry I'm very vulgar this morning. Very passionate. And I feel good. I got the energy of a freaking bison. All the way. There we go. Not awake yet. I meant to say anyway, and I said all the way. Take it all the way. And fuck it, let's do it live. All I'm saying is, relax. Everybody. If you listen to this shit, chill, remain calm, remain zen. Get laid if you can. If you can't, hold out. there's hope. You gotta hang in there. That's my go-to phrase. How you doing? I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. Went through a global pandemic, worked every day of it, got a divorce, don't live with my son anymore. I'm hanging in there. Lost 5 relatives, I'm hanging in there. That's it. That's all I can do. And I try my best. Like, I feel like some people I work with are like, oh, Cody thinks he's too good for us. Really, I just don't have time to be like just talking nonsense. So I try to remain zen, and they smoke there. People smoke there. People I used to go outside and smoke with still smoke. So I'm like, I try to do everything with ease and ergonomically so I don't get stressed out or sweat very much. And I just keep to myself, mind my own business, and avoid the unnecessariness of everyday work life in the morning around coworkers that as soon as you get fired or leave, the shit talking just flies. You know? I try to avoid all that shit. It's not my bag. And I'm in my bag today, dog. Shout out Echo Home Johnny. Drop your freaking music, bro. I'm sorry I smoked and drank 3 days ago, and you told me if I did it that you wouldn't be dropping any more music. I hope you were just messing with me, because I really want to hear your music. And here's my message to you. I'm in my fucking bag today, bro. I woke up in my bag. At 5 o'clock, I was in my bag, did 10 push-ups. And then I got out of the bag and got into the covers. But yesterday, I woke up at 5 o'clock, I was in my bag, did 10 push-ups, then I did my 100 reps of shit. Get them. And then I hopped in my work clothes and got even deeper into my bag. You feel me? And I have to stay in my bag, because if I get out of my bag, someone's going to put the freaking hands in my bag. The butterfingers. And it ain't me, because I'm always wiping my fingers off. I don't leave no traces. Oil on my fingers? Psh, this shit's like a brick of gold. I don't know, that's not even true. What doesn't sweat? It's just like a desert dirt clod, bro. Anyway, let's see where we're at here, time-wise. Alright. Y'all have an amazing Tuesday morning. Might talk to you later. Definitely talk to you tonight on the Instagram's video. I'm gonna do that. Y'all have a beautiful Tuesday. It's nice out here and a goddamn rain spot in the sky. It's supposed to rain today, but I don't see a damn thing. It's just beautiful out here. 79 degrees, 68 stops, 10:26 aftermath. I love y'all. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.